In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new CeraVe Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser for normal to dry skin. This came out, I don't know, several months ago, and I've gotten a lot of requests both here and on Instagram to review it. If you're not familiar with CeraVe, they are a brand of skincare products that are really popular, and all of the products contain ceramides. What are ceramides? They are a critical part of our skin barrier, and in dry skin conditions and eczema, and when our skin is really irritated, sometimes the ceramide component may be a little bit lacking and you have basically an impaired skin barrier. You're really prone to irritation and dryness. And it's been shown that applying ceramides, synthetic ceramides to the skin can help glue your skin into making some of its own and restoring the skin barrier. And all the CeraVe products have a blend of 3 bioidentical ceramides along with fatty acids and lipids that are contained in what they call the MVE technology or whatever. And basically what this is a slow release sustained delivery system, which is really nice, and it allows for ongoing delivery of ceramides to the skin for the next 24 hours. Something really unique about the CeraVe products. And you may be wondering, well, why the heck put them in a cleanser when you're just washing them off of the skin? Does that even work? Truthfully, we don't know, but I will point out that there is a small study in people with eczema who used a regimen of basically CeraVe bar soap, which has ceramides in it, and CeraVe cream along with prescription topical steroids to treat their eczema versus people who use just like standard skincare plus prescription topical steroids. And the study showed that the CeraVe regimen augmented the results of the treatment in comparison to just regular skincare products. That kind of suggests that maybe ceramides in cleansers may be useful, but honestly, who knows? It could just be that CeraVe makes really good products that are super friendly for people with eczema, and they get better results out of their treatment because their skin is not dry and irritated. So this new cleanser is going to be the 3rd cleanser from CeraVe that is intended for the face to remove dirt, oil, cosmetics, sebum, etc. It's really intended for facial cleansing. It's this product, their hydrating cleanser, and their foaming cleanser. And I'll get into the differences in a moment. But the reason that's important is that CeraVe also makes 2 cleansers that really are not intended to remove dirt off of your face. They're really meant for utilizing the active ingredient in the cleanser for a short contact time. And these products are their SA cleanser and their acne cleanser. Both of these products have ingredients that are meant to help with acne control, oiliness, and help in exfoliating the skin. And the reason I point that out is because you want to use those 2 cleansers differently than you would use these. You don't want to use those cleansers with the intent of cleaning your skin. I know it's like, what? That makes no sense. Those cleansers really are meant to treat the skin versus cleanse the skin. And you don't want to use either of those cleansers around your eyes. So they're not something that you can use to clean the skin of your eyelids, whereas the new cleanser, the hydrating cleanser, and the foaming cleanser all can be used around the eyes. If you use the acne cleanser or the SA cleanser around your eyes, you can get a lot of irritation. So I want to make that distinction. So moving forward, what is up with this new cleanser, and how does it differ from the other 2 facial cleansers intended for cleaning the skin? This is a cream to foam formulation. L'Oreal kind of came out with this new patented cleansing blend, and you'll probably see some version of this from a variety of their products. It's basically a blend of anionic surfactants, conditioning agents, fatty alcohols, and it produces an opaque, non-pearlescent cleansing base that starts as a creamy lather and works up into a foam. This is a nice experience for the consumer because they're putting something on their skin that's not It doesn't feel harsh. It's a nice cream consistency. It's kind of soothing as far as the thickeners that are added. and then it works up into a foam. This differs from the other two cleansers in that it's actually kind of a blend of the other two cleansers and their properties. The hydrating cleanser for normal to dry skin is a really creamy vehicle. It doesn't work up into a foam and it doesn't produce substantial lather. That is a great product for people who have what is referred to as dry dermatitic skin. It's just super gentle and it's almost like putting on a lotion onto your face. It's very, very gentle. The foaming cleanser, on the other hand, is intended for people with normal to oily skin, and it has a water-based surfactant system in it, so slightly different ingredients intended to remove stuff, basically. But they're a little less mild in comparison to what you're gonna get from the hydrating cleanser. The foaming cleanser has propylene glycol, a hydrating solvent, but for some people, propylene glycol, it can actually be, even though it's hydrating, it also can be a little irritating. Some people do not tolerate that ingredient well. Another unique feature of their foaming cleanser, as opposed to the new hydrating cream to foam cleanser or the hydrating cleanser, is that the foaming cleanser has niacinamide in it. And niacinamide is in a lot of the CeraVe products. It's a great ingredient for the skin barrier. Some people find it burns or stings. But this new product is meant to take both cleansing experiences and bring them together, in that you start with a cream like the hydrating cleanser, and then it works into a foaming lather like the foaming cleanser. And it's meant to not be drying on the skin. One of the issues with cleansing is that it strips our natural lipid barrier and can leave your skin really dry. And if you're not using a cleanser that is gentle, you can really get yourself into a situation of dry, irritated skin with flares of acne. But if you're using a cleanser that's not effective at removing dirt, cosmetics, makeup, you're gonna end up, or at least most consumers do this, you're gonna end up using a lot more of that product and exposing your skin to more of that surfactant. So you end up using too much volume of the cleanser, and that too can dry it out. So even if the cleanser at baseline is super gentle, if you have to use a ton of it and keep repeat cleansing to get all of your makeup and stuff off, you're gonna end up drying out your skin regardless of how mild the surfactant is. So I think that's really what they were trying to achieve with this. Something that was super gentle, but more intense as far as removal of dirt and cosmetics for people really seeking that cleansing experience. Unlike their other two cleansers, this is formulated with conditioning agents like cocamidal propylbutane, and so it's meant to kind of buffer some of the naturally drying effects of cleansing the skin, that lipid barrier removal. Plus you have the bioidentical ceramides, the hyaluronic acid, in this. One interesting thing about this though, unlike the other two, is that they chose to put salicylic acid in here, and I'm not entirely sure why. It's not called out, and if you skim the ingredient list, you might miss it. It's somewhere in the middle. I don't know what the percentage strength of salicylic acid, but the reason I bring that up is that salicylic acid can be drying for some people. And so I guess they put it in here kind of to get at some of the needs of people with more oily skin, but it's not really an ingredient that necessarily helps with cleansing. So I'm not really sure why that's in there, but it is. All right, how well does this work? That's what you guys really want to know. My litmus test for how well a cleanser is going to remove stuff is the mascara test. Because mascara is something that honestly cleansers should take off. They don't really have to get into the nooks and crannies to do that on your eyelashes. Your eyelashes are out there in the open, and it really doesn't require much finesse on the part of the cleanser ingredients. And it's something you can really see easily, and you can see if it's come off. And for me, this cleanser, it didn't actually remove non-waterproof mascara with just a one-time use. Those of you who know me and have watched my skincare routine, you know I do a double cleanse. I smear oil on my face to break up the mascara, as well as my water resistant sunscreen. And then I wash it off with a gentle cleanser. But in the footage I'm showing you here, I did not do that. I wanted to just see if this would serve as a standalone cleanser, but the mascara, you guys, did not come off in one cleanse. And by one cleanse, I mean one pump of the cleanser to the entire face, lathered and then rinsed off. There's still some residual mascara left behind. So I don't know. That being said, I repeated it, did another pump, another cleanse, and it all came off. But that's really not what you want. You don't want to, it's exactly what I was getting at the beginning. That's not what you want. You don't want to have to go back and repeat. You know that old adage, lather, rinse, repeat? That's actually not what you want to do. But this product, y'all, is marketed as something that claims to effectively remove dirt and makeup without stripping. And I've got to say, when I come back in with that second cleanse of this, I do feel like my skin is a little dry afterwards. Cumulatively over time, over cleansing can manifest and does as an irritant contact dermatitis. You have the repeated continuous cleansing, the surfactants stripping away the natural lipid barrier, and the consumer gets a little bit too overzealous, uses too much volume of the product. And another thing that can come into play is if the water is too hot, that too will further strip away the skin barrier. So I try and do everything in the shower, so I just have my skin being exposed to water once, and I always shower in lukewarm water. So yeah, I was a little disappointed that it didn't remove my mascara with one pump of cleanser product to the entire face and neck. But otherwise, I liked it. And so really, I think this is a nice cleanser, but I do think you need to still do a double cleanse with this in order to effectively remove cosmetics. Now, someone will probably point out that the product says, what does it say? Exactly, avoid direct contact with eyes. That statement does not mean you cannot use this around the thin skin of the eyelids. It just means don't get it in your eye. It will burn and sting. So you certainly can use a product like this or any of their other two cleansers intended for the face, the hydrating cleanser or the foaming cleanser. Those two are intended for cleansing. They can be used around the eyes to clean the skin of the eyelids. So they've even got a little mascara brush here telling you it's going to take that off, and it didn't. To me, the best thing to do, you all, is to slather some oil or a cleansing balm on your face first, because that oil breaks everything up, and then the cleanser can just take the oil and broken up cosmetics off. Otherwise, I don't think this is a bad product. I actually liked it otherwise. So when you have to do repeat cleanses with this in order to remove cosmetics, it is drying. But using it just one time, it's not drying. It does what it's supposed to do. So I will continue to use this. I don't have a problem with it. I actually think it's good, but you do still need to use either a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil to break up your cosmetics, at least in my experience. Yeah, I would love to see CeraVe come out with a cleansing oil and a cleansing balm for people who prefer the balms to pair with this. I think it would be great. You might be wondering about their micellar cleansing water. I reviewed that a while ago. Burns like the dickens around the eyes, and it's really hard to not get that in your eyes. So I didn't find that to be a good product. Cosmetic companies, their R&D, especially big companies like L'Oreal, they're really focusing a lot of their R&D efforts on gentle cleansing technologies right now, because the focus from consumers is on hygiene. Not only with hand hygiene, but a lot of people, want a gentle cleansing for their face. It's not gonna aggravate maskne. We're all really, kind of focused on that right now. And so consumers are really seeking cleansers that will effectively cleanse without over drying their skin. And moving forward in the realm of cosmetics and cosmetic formulation, wouldn't it be fantastic if we had a numerical ranking of cleanser gentleness. You have some kind of a numeric system, of a rating system. Wouldn't it be great if we had a rating system like the SPF that was standardized to assay for how irritating they're gonna be? I do actually really like this product though, but I don't, I think you're gonna be disappointed if you are somebody who's trying to pare down the number of products you have and you're trying to get away from either your makeup remover or your cleansing oil or cleansing balm, and you're trying to just use one cleanser to take that off. This just doesn't do it. If you're already using the hydrating facial cleanser or the foaming cleanser, either of those two, and you're happy with them, I don't see much need to abandon them and buy this. If you want to try it out after you finish those, I think you probably would be happy with it, but do know, I think you're still gonna have to do a double cleanse to efficiently remove cosmetics with this. Yeah, I always get questions about the CeraVe cleansers. Why do they sting some people? I don't have a great answer for that, because stinging is something that at least 1% of users of any product will experience. I mean, anything. Maybe you are more sensitive to some of the ingredients. Maybe you're using something else and the ingredients don't mix well. It could be any number of things. So it's just very challenging for me to address that for any one person. And I can't predict